Today we're going to be doing a no foundation, no makeup look using just 3 products. This is what I do on the days when I want to do the bare minimum and I don't feel like having a lot on my face, but I still want to look put together. I also have acne-prone skin, so we're going to use a spot concealer for some light coverage, and I'll also share some tricks I use to get a really minimal, natural look. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so I already prepped my skin with an essence and a sunscreen. So I used the HaruHaru Wonder Black Rice Probiotic Barrier Essence. And then on top of that, I added the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Aqua Fresh SPF. And I really like using these products, especially for this no makeup look, because they give a really nice skin-like finish without adding too much dewiness, since we're not going to be setting our makeup today. So it's important that what we use won't be slipping and sliding all over our face. So these are great products to start with and will really help with our makeup look today. The first makeup product we're going to be starting with today is blush. And I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand. I really like to use this because, again, it gives a really skin-like finish and it really stays in place. It's not going anywhere once it's dried down. And that's really what we want today. Especially going into summer, we don't want our makeup sweating off. The strategy that I'm using with this makeup look today is to really have all of the products lock in place and match my natural skin finish. We don't want anything too dewy, and we also don't want anything too matte. If it's too matte, it'll stand out against our natural skin texture and it'll look really out of place, especially since we're not using any powders. And then if we use anything too dewy, it'll risk moving around. So that's why this is a great kind of in the middle skin-like finish. It's not too matte, it's not too dewy, it's just right. So we're going to start with this today, and I like to start with my blush because I already have some redness in my cheeks, and adding a blush that's really close to the color of my natural skin tone and flush will really help even things out without any foundation or concealer. So this is where I like to start. I also love this color because for me it works as a blush bronzer hybrid, so a blonzer. It's just a really great multitasking product that can be used in multiple ways. So my recommendation is to find a blush closest to your natural flush color in a really skin-like finish that dries down and stays put and can also be used as a bronzer. So I'm just going to add this over here. And I already have a lot of redness in my face around this area, so I'm really going to focus the blush up here to really help even out my skin tone. And I just like to use my fingers to blend this out. I think it works really well, and I like to not have to wash a brush when I use my makeup. So this just makes my life a lot easier. I'm also going to carry it up to my forehead where I would use a bronzer, so I can show you how that works as well. We want to make sure it's really blended out into our hairline so that it doesn't look apparent on our skin. And you can also carry some of it onto your eyelids. That's why this product is great, because it does really set down, so it works well on your eyelids as well. Alright, so there's the blush, and that just kind of helped even my skin tone out a little bit. I already had some redness, and I also have some hyperpigmentation and dark spots, so that's already kind of acted as a layer of coverage for me. But it looks really natural, it blends in with my natural flush, and now this is a great base to start with for a no makeup look, and I find that this helps me use less coverage and concealer. And like I mentioned, once this blush dries down, it is not going anywhere, so we don't have to worry about setting it. Alright, the second product that we're going to be using today is a spot concealer, and I'm going to be using the Nars Matte Concealer, and this is in the color Chantilly. I really like this concealer because, again, it doesn't need to be set in order to stay in place. Once this locks down and dries, it is not going anywhere. It's perfect for spot concealing, and this color really works well for me because it's a little on the lighter side for me and a little yellower than my skin tone. So it actually works as a really great color corrector for my dark spots because my dark spots lean a little bit purple, so having it lean a little bit yellow for me helps cancel out the purple undertones in my dark spots. And that is what we want today. We want to do the bare minimum while still adding a little bit of coverage, just to help me feel a little bit more put together. So with this concealer today, I'm going to be using the Ciele Pinpoint Concealer Brush. And this is a fairly new brush that I got, and I really like it. It is perfect for spot concealing. I was looking for a concealer brush exactly like this, and this was the only one that I was able to find that had an end this small. It's dual-ended, so on this side it has a really tiny pinpoint concealer brush, and then on the other side it has this brush that really helps blend out the edges. So this has been a really great tool for me to have in my makeup collection, and I've been really enjoying using this brush. So I'm going to take the Pinpoint concealing end of this brush and get a little bit of this product. Now, the key to doing spot concealer when we want just minimal coverage is to really look at your face as a whole. So we want to take a step back from the mirror and not get too close, because as soon as we start getting too close, it is really easy to go overboard. So I'm looking at my face as a whole and seeing which areas my eye is drawn to, and those are the areas that we want to target. So I'm just going to start concealing. And I like to use a clean finger to blend this in. This gives the most natural finish. And again, I have a lot of redness around my nose, so I'm going to concentrate a lot of the concealer there. And that'll just help even out my skin tone overall. I'm also going to focus most of my coverage on the center of my face, and I'm not going to worry too much about concealing what's going on around my jawline, because those areas are less important for coverage, and we just want to focus on what our eye sees first, which is the front of our face. So concentrating most of our concealer towards the center of the face will give the biggest impact while using the least amount of product. But I am just going to cover some of these spots over here that are more prominent. For these larger blemishes, I like to do a layer of concealer and then blend it out with my finger. And then I like to go back and really concentrate it right on top. And you really want to do minimum blending right on top. And then I'm going to take the other end of this brush and just blend out the edges. My other tip for concealing blemishes, especially if they have a lot of dimension to them, is to really concentrate your concealer directly underneath the blemish. Because there's some dimension to it, it'll cast a shadow. So if we concentrate the concealer directly underneath the blemish, then it really helps to cancel out that shadow. And that is better than adding a lot of concealer directly on top, because if you add a lighter concealer on the highest point of a blemish, then it'll make that blemish look even more dimensional. So we really want to cancel out the shadow underneath. You could even add a concealer that's a shade darker on the highest point of the blemish, and that will really help even it out and make it look a lot flatter than it is. Makeup is all an optical illusion. It is there to trick the eye. So we're trying to do that, but still have it look very natural. All right, so we just want to make sure that all the edges are blended out, and I feel like that is looking pretty good. I really focused on just the areas that had the most redness and the most darkness, and I didn't use a lot of concealer, but I think overall it evened out my skin tone and it looks very natural, which is what we're going for today. And if you accidentally added too much concealer and it canceled out some of the blush on your cheeks, then you can always go back in at this step and add a little bit more blush. But I think today we're looking okay, and I'm feeling pretty good about how this looks. So I'm going to stop there with the concealer and the blush, and that is all I'm doing for my base coverage. And again, this concealer, once dried, sets down completely and will not budge, so we don't need to worry about adding a powder or a setting spray. So my base makeup for this look is done. Now I'm just going to go in with a little spoolie brush, and I'm just going to comb my eyebrows. At this point, you could also add an eyebrow product or mascara if that's what makes you feel your best. But for me, I like to just comb my eyebrows, and that's really all I need to feel put together. So it's really your choice here, what makes you feel best. And I might do a clear eyebrow gel at this point, but since I'm trying to limit this video to just 3 products, I'm choosing just to comb my eyebrows today. So there's my eyebrows. That's all I'm going to do to my eyes today. And now my third and final product is just going to be a lip balm. I'm going to use the old Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment in the color Strawberry today. I really like this product because it is a great multitasker. It adds a really subtle, natural tint to my lips while still feeling very nourishing and comfortable. It really acts as a lip balm, but it still has enough of a glossy finish to it that it looks like a lip gloss. So that's why I chose this one today. It is the perfect multitasking product. All right, so those are the only 3 products I'm going to be using for this makeup look today. And this is the final look. So that's it. Thank you for watching. And I'm curious, if you had to choose only 3 makeup products, which would you choose? Leave it down in the comments below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.